Okay, you're good to go.
All right, this is the City of Sandy Oaks Animal Control Advisory Committee meeting on August 10th, 2020 at 6:32 p.m. Notice is hereby given that a meeting of this...
I can't hear anything, I'm sorry.
Notice is hereby given that a meeting of the Sandy Oaks Animal Control Advisory Committee will be held on Monday, August 10th at 6:30 p.m. by telephonic video conferencing for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action. In an effort to advance the public health goal of limiting face-to-face meetings, also called social distancing, to slow the spread of the coronavirus, there will be no in-person public access to the meeting. And the public may participate in the meeting by using the link on the agenda, which you'll find on the website. We can dispense with the rest since we don't have any comments. Number one is call to order, quorum call. And we should have on the phone Julie Ramirez.
Yes, I'm here.
Stephen Groover. I see him, but I don't hear him. Okay, we'll skip him for the moment. Janet?
I'm
There
here.
you are. I heard Stephen. Janet, is Lori back yet?
She hasn't pulled in yet. Can she join when she gets here?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And Michelle, who I don't see. And then we also have Mickey Ball.
I am here.
Chris Maldonado, and Kat Groover. All right. We don't have any citizens to be heard, so we'll dispense with number 2. Yeah. Number 3, discuss and/or possible action on additional council members added to the Animal Control Advisory Committee. I needed to remove that one. That is, we covered that one last meeting, and it will be brought up in City Council this coming Thursday. So it's not a done deal yet. 4, discuss and/or possible action on communication policies. And I was going to pass that over to Janet.
So
I know you.
Before you start, Janet, can I just make a comment, CJ, ahead of this?
No. Sure.
So
Sure.
I've had a conversation with Janet about this as well. And this last week, I think it was a week ago, time gets away from me, we had a situation that resulted in some significant miscommunication. And I also had a conversation with Lynette about the very same thing. And really what needs to happen, what had happened was a group text was started. And there were a lot of people involved in that. A lot of people, I don't know who those people were. There were just phone numbers. And I know Janet expressed the same concern. So information was being shared. Times were being asked for. It was a, there's a term for that I won't use in this session, but you all know what it is. So I asked CJ if she would consider putting this item on the agenda so that we could further define and really get a handle on the communication that happens between Chris, the volunteers, the members of the committee, the fosters, all the people who were involved with this. So that's kind of my 2 cents into this discussion. We don't have happen again what happened before.
And that's part of the purpose of the having the actual list that you all should have gotten in the email with the agenda. the list of names that are involved and the phone numbers, email addresses, etc. That will help.
Yeah, I don't mind doing the group text thing. I think that's actually better than email because most people check their text messages more often. But having names attached and know who's saying what and where the miscommunication went awry, where we can fix it, it's really imperative to have names there so we know where it's all coming from.
That's the purpose of the contact list that was, I can't figure out who I need to mute. That's the point of the contact list. Did you all get a copy?
Yes.
So that you can put into your phones the name that's associated with the phone number. Now, I don't have Lori's. Is hers different from yours? It is, isn't it, Janet?
Her phone number?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm missing her phone number. So if
I
you
can
want
give
to.
it to you right now.
All right.
210-859-1675.
Okay. And when
And
I
she
get
just
the.
pulled in, so she'll be joining shortly.
Perfect. Okay, so I'll add that to our list. Were there other comments you had, Janet, that you wanted to share regarding
Well,
contacts?
it was pretty much clarified by Mickey. When I got the text about the two dogs needing transport the next morning to Bernie, I was just kind of like, huh? Because Milo had already had a placement, and why were they taking him somewhere else? And then that's why I asked who the rescue was, and then that goes down. That's going to go into another section of this that we can discuss later about vetting. But I was just in a tizzy, and I was like, I didn't know who to call, so I called Chris, and then I called Mickey, and I'm like, look, you know, we got to fix this somehow, so everyone's on the same page, because there was a lot of unnecessary communication. There was a lot of unnecessary running around. Chris had to make 2 round-trip trips to Bernie for no reason. You know, I mean, there was a lot of lost time and energy that could have been spent elsewhere more productively.
I would agree. And one thing that I would add, when those group texts are going on and they're happening in the evening, Chris is off duty and he's not aware of what's going on there. And so because of the short time frame that was identified in that text, which was the next morning at like 9:30, I actually reached out to him at home to ask him if that was something he could do. By the time I got back to the text, the time had changed, and he had said he could do the morning, but then they had moved it to a later time, and he couldn't do that because he already had previous commitments. So we just need to be very sensitive that, you know, as a city employee, and I have put a mandate out there that there is 0 overtime. And so in other times, Chris has been very flexible and been available, but, you know, I think it's just only fair that our employees are able to have time away from the job. I don't know whose phone is doing that.
That might be the one that's just listed as iPhone. I'm not sure.
I don't know who that is. Let me mute him. Okay.
Steve's muted.
Yeah. And so that's my only concern is just making sure Chris still needs to be the point person. And if there is something that needs to be addressed and he can't be reached that evening, that's, I think, where we're looking for a point of contact, you know, a single point or a first and second point to kind of be the to be
The
that.
key on that animal.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I've had a problem with the text messages because it seems like sometimes, even though I get all the text messages, it's like the conversation starts, but it's already been going on somewhere else because I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So I don't know if it's
an issue
half
too.
via email and half via phone and half via text messages or what, but sometimes it can be very confusing. So I agree, if there's a point person that's taking care of the problem, then we need to know who that point person is so that the rest of us can back off unless that person asks us for assistance.
CJ, maybe it
Well,
would be a
but
good idea.
Julie, were you speaking?